affordable housing does not prescribe ownership of affordable housing. And all over the world, the state is always required to provide access, not ownership to housing. So where the Kenyan government is getting the impression that it can expand the constitution or the parliament, I don't know. Access cannot be read to mean ownership. So the entire act violates Article 43, Clause 1, Clause B, upon which it is proposed to be anchored. Article, it's also an arbitrary denial of arbitrary deprivation of property from the salaried employees to demand that they should part with salaries in a forcible fund. It's a mechanism of forcing people into associations contrary to the Constitution. This thing is unconstitutional, and it will remain unconstitutional whatever color it takes, whatever shape it takes, whatever test it takes. It's unconstitutional. And finally, it's most unfortunate that we are debating an important bill and members are given only 4 minutes. It is not possible to give your ideas, to ventilate this bill in 4 minutes. If we are extending the time to a point when we are doing that, why are we giving ourselves 4 minutes? Why are we muscling? Why are we gagging people who would like to ventilate the bill? So I would like that to go on record that it was a wrong thing to do, to gag members by limiting the time by which they can debate. And I also support Senator for Isiolo, for Garissa, who said that the bill violates the principles of Islamic religion, which are specifically exempted under the Constitution when making bills. Thank you very much.
Senator Gloria Uroba.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to proudly support the affordable housing, Mr. Speaker, and not just because it creates jobs for the youth. Not just because it creates jobs, Mr. Speaker. I want to support this because it is what Kenya needs, Mr. Speaker. And by the way, we need to be alive to the fact that change is inevitable. Senators from the opposition need to understand that an election was won based on promises that were given to Kenyans. One of the promises being affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, and I have even heard Senator Ledama try to explain how we should not do housing because ABCD. And when I was listening to him, I was wondering, these senior members of this house must understand the difference between social housing and affordable housing, Mr. Speaker. We are not talking about social housing. Whatever Senator Ledama was trying to talk about was social housing. And Mr. Speaker, when the Kenya Kwanza government is done with affordable housing successfully, then we are going to move now to deal with the issue of social housing, because even that is necessary. So, Mr. Speaker, as I support this affordable housing bill, I must say again and again and again, change is inevitable and development will be brought to Kenya by force, by fire. And if there is anybody who is going to ensure that this country moves to where it needs to go, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell every member in this house that it is His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, because he is the commander-in-chief. And I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, today being we are from the Women Caucus, Mr. Speaker. I can tell you that the men who are opposing this affordable housing, half the time they are not even at home. They do not understand the deplorable houses that they are living, all the women who they have children with out there, Mr. Speaker. As a woman who is here in this house, Mr. Speaker, we want to live in conditions that are befitting for us women. So we are tired of living in the slums, and we are tired of you people just sending your baby mamas left, right, and center and coming to the house to fight affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, the president has the interests of all women at heart, and this is why when I support this bill, I want to say that I'll be at the front of that list to ensure that women are being prioritized, those women in the slums, those women who do not have any form of dignified living, Mr. Speaker. So I support this bill, and I urge Senator Ladama to go and read the difference between social housing and affordable housing. Thank you.
Senator Okiya Eddie.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this time, and I think that I want to take this time to speak to the people who sent me to this house, and the great people of Migori. The people of Migori, I want to report to you that in the National Assembly, 2 MPs of Kenya Kwanza, just in this past weekend, went to their villages and chased KRA officials away, opposing a bill on taxation and finance bill that they so much championed for. And I'm telling the people of Migori that I'm in a Senate today that I can see the same trend of people standing to support what is wrong. And I can assure the people of Migori that I want to stand with you, telling you that the way the structure of this bill is, I cannot support it. More importantly, the way the debate around this bill is being rushed in this house, the way it is being forced in the throat of you, the people of Kenya today in this house, we are being given 4 minutes to be able to discuss this bill. We have been forced to extend the house without participating in the conversation about that particular motion, the people of Migori. I am telling you that this is why, even during Moi days, the repealing of Section 2A came about. We are going to the dictatorial times of Moi, and it's not only happening at the national level, it's also happening in the house that you send me to. And I can assure you that there are ways of dealing with this matter. I don't support this housing bill.
What is
and in the protest of how the speakers today ran this particular house towards this discussion, I am going to walk out of this house in protest. I'm going to walk out of this house in protest.
The chair is
of how the chair has treated us in this house.
Senator Eddie, resume your seat. What's your point of intervention, Senator Abdul?
Mr. Speaker, sir, can the senator stop misleading this house and the public and tell him to substantiate on who exactly forced who?
Ruto forced us.
Where is Ruto here? Is Ruto in this house?
Senator Eddie.
If senators have decided that the debate is going to be 4 minutes and we're going to extend the house, who is forcing who? It's the senators who've decided.
Mr. Speaker, the president of this country, President William Ruto, where he sits, he knows that I've got nothing against him. But he believes in what I believes in, that as a president, he will come and go. We as politicians will come and go. And when all this thing is done, it is our children. It is our children who will be able to live with the consequences of bad laws that we are making. The person who is saying that tutawacha manyumba, Mr. Speaker, the person who is saying that tutawacha manyumba, Mr. Speaker, is somebody who is enjoying serious mortgage, is somebody who is enjoying serious mortgage, and he knows very well that this particular proposal that we are having here is people in Embu are staying in villages. The president is proposing that the houses are being made in Nairobi, not villages, where his people are living in thatched houses, where his people are living
Eddie, you want to be informed.
Mr. Speaker, can you protect me? My time is still here.
You want to be informed.
Mr. Speaker, can you protect me?
Order, Senator
Mr. Speaker.
Your time is up, Senator Eddie. You are protected, Senator Eddie, but your time, unfortunately, is up. Resume your seat. Resume your seat, Senator Eddie. Order, Senator Karungu. Order, please. Order, honorable members. Let us give an opportunity to members who've been given the time to speak. Senator Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa ruhusa niweze kuchangia mambo ya kujenga manyumba, na ningetaka kusema kama kuna watu wafai kukataa mambo ya manyumba ni Senator Okiya na pia Senator Landama, kwa sababu mwaka 2005 nilikuwa huko Kisii, pahali inaitwa Gogo, pahali na Migori, pahali hakuna chochote. Kwa hivyo ningeomba kama serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, kitu ya kwanza ile kaunti ya Kisii nyuma ingeanza huko, kwa sababu hakuna tofauti sana kubwa sana ya Embu na Kisii. Na ninakumbuka vizuri mambo ya manyumba, watu 150 wameajiriwa, ni vijana wetu, ni wachana wetu, wengine ni watu wa kujenga, wengine ni watu wa stima, wengine ni wa kusafisha. Kwa hivyo saa hii hata hakuna ukora vijijini na kila kona zote. Kwa hiyo naunga mkono kaunti zote zile zinaendelea kujenga manyumba, kwa sababu kaunti nyingi najua saa hii mjengo inaendelea ni nyumba karibu 2000. Hiyo ingine naunga mkono kwa serikali ya Kenya Kwanza kwa ile kazi inafanya, na inaomba iendelee hivyo kwa kipindi ya miaka ile itakuwako miaka 5 na ingine miaka ile ingine miaka 10. Kwa serikali ya Kenya Kwanza itapitisha hiyo mambo ya kujenga manyumba iende katika sub county, ndio mambo ya economy iweze kupandika katika county zetu. Nataka kuambia Senate ya Kenya, wale watu wote wako hapa, watu wengi tumetembea, kama mimi nimeenda Colorado, nimeenda North Carolina, nimeenda Dubai. Ile mambo nimeona huko haikuanza saa hii, ilianza na mambo mengi. Kwa sababu nakumbuka hata ukienda kule mambo watu wanalamika mambo ya gari, vile mtu analipa kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni shilingi 100. Kule unalipa masaa 2 shilingi 200, na ikiisha hiyo masaa unaondoka. Kwa hivyo naomba serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, walio wengi na walio wachache, tuungane pamoja ndio tuweze kupitisha mambo ya kujenga manyumba, ndio tuweze kupandisha Kenya yetu juu ya economy recovery na kila mambo ingine. Kwa hivyo nataka kukosoa wale walio wachache, watuunge mkono serikali ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua kwa hii kipindi ya miaka 5 na ingine miaka 5. Tutaendelea hivyo na tutawashinda, na mambo ya nyumba itakuwa inaonekana kila kona zote. Sio mambo ya manyumba peke yake, kuna mambo mengi inavaa serikali ya Kenya iweze kuangalia. Tumeona mambo ya fertilizer, mambo mingi tumeona. Kwa hivyo tuunge mkono serikali ya Kenya Kwanza. Asante. Sisi watu wa Embu County, nikiwa nimesimama hapa ni Embu County imesimama. Ni mimi Senator wa Embu County Alexander Mundigi, Deputy Party Leader Democratic Kenya Kwanza. Asante Bwana Speaker, naunga mkono.
Order members, order members, order honorable members. Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, nothing surprises me anymore these days. I have listened quietly in shock as a classmate of mine at the University of Nairobi Law School misleads the House on the provisions of the 4th schedule of the Constitution of this country, that very clearly, Mr. Speaker, distinguishes between housing policy, that is a national government, and housing itself, which is a devolved function. Mr. Speaker, there will be passionate representations from our colleagues from the majority, but I have lived long enough to see, in the space of less than 6 months, people arguing as passionately as I can see my colleagues in the majority arguing for a bill in the National Assembly, the finance bill, only for them to turn around and realize that what they were arguing very passionately for was something that was against the interest of their own people. We in the minority have objected to this bill, and I want to go on record as objecting to this bill on principle, because we believe that housing is a devolved function, and as a senator sworn to protect devolution and the interest of their counties, I cannot in good faith support this particular bill. Mr. Speaker, in the fullness of time, I want to believe that one day reason will come to our country. But as it is right now, because we understand our position, as a minority, we know we are outnumbered in this house. As a whip, I can only guarantee 16 votes in support of devolution in this house. I know that I am in the minority, but what is heartbreaking, Honorable Speaker, is that a key tenet of democracy being that the minority must have their say Even that, we are being denied by limitation of debate on such an important bill from the maximum 20 minutes to 4 minutes. Mr. Speaker, I would have come with all my notes and explanations as to why I oppose this particular bill. But the most important thing is that the government and the people in the majority have totally lost contact with the feelings and place of the ordinary Kenyans. One of the biggest objections to this particular bill is the actual levy. If you look at the ordinary people's payslips, Mr. Speaker, they can no longer be able to carry any more burden. People have been taxed to the bone, Mr. Speaker. So that even if you look at the payslips of these members of parliament here, many of them are going to be earning negative salaries if you impose this particular bill, this particular levy. And that is not to talk about or to mention people in the civil service, teachers, police officers, people who are earning very little money, Mr. Speaker, and the economy is in the doldrums. So when we come here, and because we know we have the numbers, we're going to